Well, let's continue on what's trending then. With reactions trailing the press conference organized by the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi.
Yes, it's Peace TV on today's episode, and practically we're talking about Peter Obi of the Labour Party, who is seen to be the former Labour Party candidate of 2023 February 25th elections, has finally said that the Supreme Court judgment on this February 25th, 2023 elections has actually made Nigerians to have no confidence on the judiciary, and now hereby hinting on participating in the presidential elections of 2027. I would like you to watch the video on the next and also tell me what you think about this current step and move. Do you really think he's going to win? Do you think it's still going to happen just like these 2023 elections? I would like you to tell me in the comment section. Please don't forget to follow us on all social media platforms and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Peace TV. Thanks for watching. It's Peace TV.
Who stated, among several points, that the judgment of the Supreme Court that upheld the victory of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has damaged the confidence that Nigerians have in the judiciary. Peter Obi spoke in Abuja on Monday, 10 days after the Supreme Court of Nigeria affirmed Tinubu as Nigeria's president. Addressing the press, Peter Obi condemned the Independent National Electoral Commission, saying the commission displayed incompetence during the elections. Obi thanked Nigerians who supported the Labour Party and described the movement of the party as a revolution postponed.
This judgment amounts to a breach of confidence of Nigerians have in our judiciary. However, this end is only another beginning of our quest for vindication of hope of the common man for a better Nigeria. This year, 2023, has been quite remarkable and revealing. INEC displayed incompetence in the conduct of its statutory duties. It has one thing that has gladdened my heart in course of the struggle in the past 18 months. It is the passionate desire of our people, especially young Nigerians from across ethnic and religious divides, to construct a new and restructured Nigeria that will work for all Nigerians. The energy and dedication of Nigerian youth and obedient movement have been simply amazing. Going forward, we in Labour Party and the obedient movement are now effectively in opposition. We are glad that the nation has heard us loud and clear. We shall now expand the confines of our message of hope to the rest of the country.
Well, the presidency, in reacting to Peter Obi's press conference, stated that Obi should find another worthwhile vocation and stop casting aspersions on the integrity of the justices of the Supreme Court for affirming Tinubu as winner of the February 25th election. Bayo Onanuga, the president's special advisor on information and strategy, in a post on X, accused Peter Obi of being delusional to believe that he could have won a national election where he ran a divisive and polarizing campaign. His statement reads in part: at the press conference where he tried in vain to gaslight Nigerians with false claims and innuendos, Mr. Obi contradicted himself. Here was a beneficiary of judicial pronouncements in the past, now castigating the Supreme Court because its judgment did not go his way. He made false allegations of rigging and other electoral malpractices, yet could not produce any evidence to back up his claims at both the Court of First Instance and the Apex Court. We expected the Labour Party candidate to know that the Supreme Court or any other court does not give judgment based on public opinion and mob sentiments. Judicial pronouncements are based on evidence, precedents, and the rule of law. Obi should have congratulated President Tinubu for his victory and pledged his support in the spirit of statesmanship. But instead, he brought up extraneous matters that he thought the Apex Court should have considered to declare him the winner. In our view, the drowning Obi, just like Atiku, was merely attempting to hold on to a straw in raking up new allegations which exist only in his imagination and that of his hordes of supporters. Well, of course, you know, Rufai, Peter Obi has a lot of supporters, and they went after Bayo Onanuga on this tweet. I got a lot of reactions, you know, people just attacking Bayo Onanuga's tweets. Some people were even saying, I mean, what sort of campaign did you guys even run? What were your messages? Let me just take one tweet. The State House should rather quit from agonizing over this World Press Conference. They should rather focus on the message and leave the messenger alone. He raised quite some pertinent issues that if the State House was sincere and people enthroned would have taken cognizance of, issues like why we allocated such ridiculous amount of money to the office of the First Lady, an office that has no constitutional representation. But no, as always, the State House has left matters of significant prominence to start raving over the love Nigerians have for the messenger and his message. More like the opposition. Again, stop the agonizing, focus on the message. I mean, there was a word there that I couldn't use, but you know, but that's basically what it is. Agonizing over, you know, somebody who has a right to actually speak against what he believes in at this point.
So, I mean, Mr. Peter Obi has 100% every right to speak against, you know, the electoral system.
Yeah.
And he just enunciated this point, and he said many things there. And the reaction by Mr. Bayo Onanuga was just missing the point and unnecessary. I mean, if you're attacking him, attacking his supporters. But we can also flip the script and remind Mr. Bayo Onanuga how he started ethnic baiting.
And that thing you just said is correct, because he made that mention of that.
This was the same Mr. Bayo Onanuga that wrote after the elections. He said this should be the last time people from a certain ethnic group that have been in Lagos for tens of years should never, I was talking to the Igbo, should never participate in the election. Mr. Bayo Onanuga said all sorts of things that were very, very bad during the election period. And when we say people that did rabble-rousing, you know, he really did a lot of it. But, you know, the elections are all over. Nigerians will try to heal from all of this. But one of the substance of the things Mr. Peter Obi talked about, he talked about the need, you know, for public opinion in society, which we cannot discountenance, which is very strong, which is germane. He also talked about, you know, the judicial system. And Mr. Bayo Onanuga saying that, yeah, the judicial system favored Mr. Peter Obi before. Yes, I mean, he made a point there as regards that. But we also sit down here and see a lot of judgments that have come out during this electoral period. You know, judgments here and there, the discrepancies, the differences and all of that. And it takes a lot to study. But we can't keep dialing and looking at the past. In moving forward, what are the things we ought to do?
Yeah.
He put forward some suggestions. He talked about things like a 5-year presidency tenure. Dr. Abati has enunciated the fact that Goodluck Jonathan has talked about it before now. The birthday boy has enunciated that fact, you know. And probably how we can truly restructure this country to make it fit for purpose. But also, I would also add, by seeing how we can go back to the National Assembly to fix those laws, those lacunas in the electoral laws that made politicians able to wriggle their way through. And really have real conversations about the reform of INEC. Are we going to adopt the Ways report fully? See, I must have to state this strongly. If it will be that it's still the president that is picking who is going to be INEC chief leading up to the next election, then we are not ready yet. The Ways report has been on for a while. It's time for us to fully implement it. This is the time for you as citizens to also call the lawmakers and say, these are the things we want you to push in the House for us as regards electoral reforms. Also, I talked about the fact that the opposition too should come up with ideas. So it's not just, opposition is not just about criticizing the government on ground, but what are your counter ideas to what they have? That's why, yes, presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, talked about the office of the First Lady and all of that. That should not be the case. The 5 billion for yachts. But I am also saying, and somebody just sent me a message that I think he did criticize, but I didn't watch the full tape because I was in and out of it, that the Labour Party lawmakers too should be called out for collecting the 160 million for the cars they want to buy, because, I mean, if they say they were bringing a new idea forward. So this is the time for us to be able to effectively run our government and run our country. And we must have a boisterous and strong opposition.
Yes,
you know,
this is the time to run our government. Yeah.
They should have a think tank. They must have ideas they are putting forward. And we must have a robust political space. And please, we'd like to beg all the actors, stop ethnic baiting.
Yeah.
Please. stop ethnic baiting. Don't destroy this country. Don't set it alight. Put your ideas forward robustly and let people enunciate on those ideas and debate on them.
Yeah, we must have a robust governance process at this point, and that's also the rhetoric on a lot of reactions that I have seen. I'll just take this one for laughs. This is from Ben, who wrote, responding to Bayo Onanuga's tweet, he wrote, 2 questions for you, sir. What issues did you campaign on during the election process? He said selection process, apart from dancing to Kwamwan songs at campaign events loaded with unlimited gas. What have you brought upon the masses in the last 6 months, apart from hardship, pain, and suffering?